At 27, while my friends collected engagement rings, ultrasound photos, and preschool brochures, I collected project deadlines. My mother called this avoiding adulthood. I called it career development. My laptop called it 12 browser tabs consuming all available memory. Every Sunday, Mom served lunch with a side dish of emotional pressure. "When will you get married, Lily?" she asked. I smiled and said, "I'm focusing on my career." Dad quietly added more rice, wisely refusing to enter a battlefield without protective equipment. I had loved someone once. We dated for 5 years before I discovered his loyalty had a shorter warranty than a discount phone charger. After the breakup, I placed my heart on airplane mode and buried myself in spreadsheets, meetings, and aggressively organized folders. Several nice men asked me out. They had stable jobs, acceptable hairlines, and birth years that would not alarm my parents. Unfortunately, my emotions responded like a broken vending machine. I inserted effort, pressed the correct button, and received absolutely nothing. Then my company signed the largest contract in its history. I was assigned to coordinate with North Star Group, a corporate giant whose lobby had more marble than my entire neighborhood. This project could transform my career, or turn my remaining brain cells into smoke. At the first meeting, North Star sent Victor Hale, a senior executive famous for rescuing impossible projects. He entered wearing a charcoal suit and the calm expression of a man who had never accidentally replied to an entire company with a private complaint. Victor was 46, 19 years older than me and only 4 years younger than Dad. His oldest son was 24. The moment I learned this, my family tree shook violently, applied for emergency leave, and requested professional counseling. Victor was calm, thoughtful, and terrifyingly competent. While 12 managers argued over a chart like seagulls fighting over bread, he studied it for 10 seconds and offered one practical solution. Everyone became silent. Somewhere, an overpriced leadership seminar quietly went bankrupt. Then Victor turned toward me. "Lily, what's your assessment?" My degree vanished. My experience evaporated. Even my native language packed a suitcase and left. Somehow, I delivered a sensible answer while the tiny employee inside my brain ran in circles holding a fire extinguisher. "Excellent point," Victor said. I nodded professionally and wrote something in my notebook. That something was not a business note. It was a tiny sentence reading, "He said excellent," surrounded by 3 stars and one deeply embarrassing smiley face. I blamed the reaction on professional admiration. Victor was simply an impressive mentor. My heart disagreed and began performing gymnastics whenever he entered the room. Apparently, nobody had informed that reckless organ about workplace boundaries, age differences, or basic survival instincts. One evening, Victor emailed revised documents at 10:57 p.m. His final line said, "Don't work too late. Get some rest." I stared at it like an archaeologist discovering an ancient love letter, although it was probably typed while he was brushing his teeth. I replied, "Thank you. You should rest too." Clean. Polite. Professional. Then I spent 40 minutes analyzing whether his period sounded warm, distant, protective, or secretly passionate. It was punctuation, Lily. A dot. Humanity has landed robots on Mars, yet I lost to a dot. My coworker Nina noticed everything because Nina considered privacy an optional subscription. "You sit straighter when Victor joins meetings," she whispered. I denied it. At that exact moment, Victor entered, and my spine immediately became a luxury flagpole. Oh no, Nina said after the meeting. You have a full corporate crush. I told her Victor was almost my father's age. She nodded thoughtfully. So he probably owns a complete toolbox and knows how insurance works. Honestly, I understand the appeal. I ordered Nina to forget the conversation. She promised solemnly, placed one hand over her heart, and survived nearly 6 minutes before sending me a meme of an elderly movie star labeled, Lily's career goals. Victor was not elderly. My dignity, however, was dying rapidly. As the project continued, I learned Victor's wife had died almost 10 years earlier. He had raised 3 children while running a company division. He described school lunches, parent meetings, and teenage disasters with the calm pride of a man who had survived multiple natural catastrophes. His story moved me. It also made the situation approximately 900% worse. He was not merely handsome and competent. He was devoted, resilient, and emotionally mature, the romantic equivalent of adding premium toppings to an already dangerous pizza. Soon, I began measuring weeks by Victor's schedule. Monday, ordinary suffering. Tuesday, budget meeting with Victor. Wednesday, replay everything he said. Thursday, criticize myself for replaying it. Friday, repeat the cycle while pretending to understand a 30-page financial forecast. One morning, Victor brought coffee for the team. He remembered that I preferred oat milk and no sugar. My heart launched fireworks. My brain shouted, he remembered everyone's order. My heart replied, silence, jealous spreadsheet. This is our wedding now. Nina watched me cradle the coffee cup like a sacred object. Please don't preserve that in a museum, she said. I told her to mind her business. She reminded me that watching other people's business was the only reason she came to the office. I tried dating an age-appropriate architect named Jason. He was funny, attractive, and emotionally available. Unfortunately, when he discussed designing modern apartments, I wondered whether Victor preferred traditional houses. Jason deserved romance, not a woman mentally interviewing him for Victor-related information. I ended the evening kindly and did not schedule another date. Turning Jason into emotional wallpaper would have been cruel. Besides, my heart was already managing an unauthorized project with no budget, no timeline, and absolutely no approval from senior management. The project's first major crisis arrived on a rainy Thursday. A software failure corrupted our presentation 2 hours before the board review. Managers panicked, printers screamed, and one intern stared into the distance as if reconsidering every decision since kindergarten. Victor remained calm. Lily, rebuild the financial section. I'll handle the board. His confidence steadied me. For 90 minutes, I worked like a caffeinated machine. Nina supplied files, encouragement, and enough snacks to feed a small but highly stressed nation. We finished with 4 minutes remaining. The board approved the plan. Everyone cheered. Victor squeezed my shoulder and said, I knew I could count on you. My brain recorded a workplace compliment. My heart immediately ordered matching towels for our imaginary retirement home. That night, I finally admitted the truth to Nina. I genuinely like him. She stopped joking. Then protect your career and your heart, she said. Feelings aren't crimes, but turning a contract negotiation into a romantic circus would be professionally unhinged. She was right. Victor had influence over a project that could shape my future. Even if he returned my feelings, the timing created an uncomfortable power imbalance. Romance was already complicated. Romance with corporate governance attached needed its own legal department. I created rules. No unnecessary messages. No romantic interpretation of punctuation. No saving coffee cups for historical preservation. Most importantly, no staring when Victor removed his glasses. That final rule survived approximately 11 minutes into Monday's meeting. A month later, the teams attended a formal dinner. I wore a dark blue dress and spent 20 minutes pretending I had chosen it casually. When Victor saw me, he paused. "You look wonderful tonight." Every rule I had created burst into flames simultaneously. During dinner, Victor mentioned his oldest son, Daniel, had recently moved home. "He's 24 and thinks owning one frying pan makes him independent," Victor said. I laughed, then remembered Daniel was only 3 years younger than me. My family tree requested another emergency meeting. Later, Victor and I stood alone on the terrace. City lights glittered below us. For one dangerous second, the moment felt romantic enough to require background music. Then a waiter dropped 47 forks behind us, and the universe restored proper workplace boundaries. Victor smiled. "You've done exceptional work, Lily. You remind me of myself at your age." The sentence landed softly but clearly. He admired my ambition, not my imaginary blue dress wedding. My heart removed one decorative towel from its retirement home shopping cart. Still, uncertainty continued nibbling at my common sense. Was he being fatherly, friendly, or carefully interested? I needed clarity, but confessing during the project would be reckless. I decided to wait until the contract ended, when neither of us controlled the other's professional future. The final 6 weeks became a marathon. We solved supply problems, budget problems, and a mysterious office smell eventually traced to someone's abandoned tuna sandwich. Victor and I worked smoothly together, but I kept our conversations professional, even when my heart filed several formal complaints. On presentation day, I stood before both companies' boards and delivered our final strategy. My voice remained steady. My slides worked. Nobody fainted. When the applause came, I realized I had stopped watching Victor for approval. I was finally watching myself succeed. The project was approved, under budget, and 2 days early. Senior management offered me a promotion. Nina celebrated by firing confetti from a device clearly forbidden by building regulations. The smoke alarm joined the celebration with a passionate solo performance. After the celebration, Victor asked if we could speak privately. My heart arrived wearing a wedding veil. My brain arrived with an attorney. We walked to a quiet cafe across the street, where I ordered tea and nearly poured it into the sugar bowl. "North Star wants to offer you a position," Victor said. The opportunity was excellent, but it would place me directly under his supervision. A few months earlier, I might have accepted just to remain near him. Now, I recognized the professional disaster hiding inside the attractive package. I thanked him but declined. "I need to build something that belongs to me," I explained. Victor smiled with genuine respect. "That's exactly why I recommended you." My career stood taller. My crush, however, was now lying dramatically across a tiny emotional sofa. The contract was over. There was no longer a power imbalance, and uncertainty had exhausted me. I took a breath. "Victor, I should admit something. During this project, I developed feelings for you. I never expected anything, but I need to say it once and move forward." Victor was silent for several seconds. They were the longest seconds ever manufactured. Somewhere, entire civilizations probably rose and fell. Finally, he said, "I care about you deeply, Lily. But my feelings are those of a mentor, and perhaps an overly protective older friend." The rejection hurt, but it did not destroy me. Victor had answered with honesty and kindness. More importantly, no security guards removed me from the cafe, no company collapsed, and my family tree finally canceled its emergency counseling appointment. Victor added, "Your feelings are nothing to be embarrassed about. You handled them with remarkable maturity." Naturally, I responded by knocking my spoon onto the floor. Emotional maturity had arrived, but physical coordination remained delayed by severe weather. We left the cafe as friends. I cried in Nina's car for 12 minutes, ate 17 fries, and declared love a fraudulent industry. Nina listened patiently before asking whether she could finally delete the folder titled Lily and Her Distinguished Gentleman. 3 months later, I was thriving in my new role. I led my own team, negotiated contracts, and stopped interpreting punctuation romantically. Victor occasionally sent professional updates. His periods now looked exactly like periods, tiny dots with no secret plans for marriage. I eventually met Marcus at a charity event. He was 31, kind, funny, and capable of assembling furniture without threatening the manufacturer. This time, I did not compare him with Victor. I simply enjoyed the conversation, and accepted when he asked me to dinner. I never regretted loving Victor. That ridiculous crush reopened a heart I had locked after betrayal and taught me that feelings do not require obedience. Sometimes they are visitors, not permanent residents. Mine arrived in a charcoal suit, improved my career, caused several memes, and left me braver than before.